It didn't start with explosions. It started with silence. Across Earth, every satellite stopped. Not malfunctioned. Stopped. Frozen in orbit. No signal, the technician asked. None, came the reply. Phones lost connection. Internet vanished. GPS went dark. Within minutes, the entire planet was blind. Panic began to spread. Is it a solar storm? Someone asked. No, the scientist said quietly. This is controlled. That word, controlled, changed everything. Then came the second sign. The sky. At first, nothing looked different. Clear blue. Clouds moving normally. Then, something shifted. A faint distortion. Like heat waves in the air. But, everywhere. People started pointing. Recording. What is that? No one answered. Because no one understood it. Until it moved. The distortion opened. Not like a portal. Not like anything human. It peeled back. And behind it, something massive appeared. A structure so large. It covered part of the sky. Not a ship in the usual sense. It didn't glow. It didn't shine. It absorbed light. A dark, endless surface stretching across the horizon. Cities went quiet. Millions stared upward. This is not possible, a scientist whispered. But it was real. More distortions opened. More of them appeared. Not one ship. Hundreds. Each one bigger than entire cities. Hovering. Silent. No weapons fired. No communication sent. Just watching. Are they scanning us? Someone asked. No, another replied. They already know we're here. Hours passed. Nothing happened. And somehow, that made it worse. Because whatever this was, it wasn't rushed. It wasn't chaotic. It was planned. Then, every screen on Earth turned on. Phones, TVs, billboards, all at once. A signal. Not translated. Not explained. Just understood. Planet designated for removal. Silence. No threats. No demands. Just a statement. Removal? Someone repeated. What does that even mean? No one had time to answer. Because the ships above finally began to move. Slowly. Deliberately. Their surfaces opened. Not weapons. Something worse. A deep, glowing structure. Forming inside them. Energy gathering. Not like lasers. Not like missiles. Something far beyond human understanding. They're not attacking cities, the scientist said. They're targeting the planet itself. Realization hit. They're not invading. They're erasing. Across Earth, people looked up. At the sky. At the ships. At the end. Because whatever those things were, they hadn't come to fight humanity. They had come to delete it. And no one knew that humanity's survival would not come from strength, but from something the aliens had completely overlooked. The sky darkened. Not from clouds. From the ships. They shifted position slowly. Perfectly aligned. Forming a pattern around the planet. They're creating a grid, a scientist said. A global structure. Encircling Earth completely. Energy levels rising, another voice reported. How long do we have? The commander asked. Minutes. Silence filled the room. No defense systems were responding. Missiles wouldn't lock. Satellites were frozen. Even nuclear launch systems. Unresponsive. It's like they shut everything down, an engineer said. They did, the scientist replied. This isn't an attack. It's preparation. Above, the ships began to glow. Not bright. Deep. Like something building beneath the surface. Across the entire grid. Energy connected. Lines of power linking ship to ship. Creating a massive structure around Earth. What is that? Someone whispered. No one answered. Because no human had ever seen anything like it. Then, the data came in. Not from satellites. Not from sensors. From something unexpected. Old ground-based observatories. Analog systems. Systems the aliens hadn't disabled. They're reading gravitational shifts, the scientist said quickly. Explain. They're not using a weapon. They're changing space itself. Silence. What does that mean? The commander asked. It means, the scientist swallowed, they're about to collapse the planet. Not explode it. Not burn it. Collapse it. From the inside. A weapon that didn't destroy. It erased structure. Gravity itself. Turned against the planet. That's not possible, someone said. It is, the scientist replied. And we can't stop it. Above. The energy grid intensified. The ships pulsed in perfect sync. A low vibration spread across Earth. Not sound. Something deeper. The ground trembled slightly. Oceans shifted. The atmosphere distorted. It's starting, the engineer whispered. Every calculation, every model, said the same thing. Total planetary failure. No survivors. No escape. This is extinction, the commander said quietly. For the first time. No one argued. Because there was nothing to argue. Humanity had no answer. No weapon. No defense. Nothing. Above. The alien ships reached peak energy. The grid locked into place. Final phase. Goodbye, someone whispered. And then, the weapon activated. For a split second. Nothing happened. No explosion. No light. Just silence. Then, reality bent. The sky warped. The horizon curved unnaturally. Gravity fluctuated. Objects lifted. Then dropped. People fell to the ground. Buildings creaked under impossible pressure. The planet itself was being pulled apart. And yet, something was wrong. Very wrong. Because the collapse wasn't happening correctly. The system was working. But Earth wasn't responding the way it should. Up above, for the first time, the alien ships hesitated. Because their perfect weapon had just encountered something unexpected. Something was wrong. The aliens saw it first. Not the humans. From orbit, their instruments showed impossible readings. Gravitational collapse not progressing. That is incorrect, one alien overseer replied. It should be complete within seconds. But it wasn't. Earth remained intact. Not stable. But not collapsing either. How is that possible? Another demanded. No answer came. Because their weapon had never failed before. Not once. Entire planets had been erased with this system. Stars destabilized. Worlds crushed into nothing. But this one was resisting. On Earth, chaos continued. Gravity surged and dropped in waves. People struggled to stand. Buildings groaned. But nothing broke. It's holding, the scientist said in disbelief. That's not possible, another replied. It should have torn the planet apart by now. Yet, it hadn't. Run deeper scans, the commander ordered. The old observatories worked fast. Analog systems. Unaffected. Data came in. Then stopped. Then came again. With something strange. This doesn't make sense, the scientist whispered. Say it. The planet's core. It's not reacting normally. Silence. Explain, the commander said. The gravitational stress is there, he said slowly. But it's being absorbed. Absorbed. That's not possible. It isn't, the scientist said. But it's happening. Deep below. Far beneath the surface. Something ancient stirred. Not alive. Not conscious. But present. For billions of years. It had been there. Unknown. Unnoticed. Even by humanity. The alien weapon pushed harder. Energy levels increased. The grid intensified. If resistance continues, the alien system calculated. Increase output. The ships obeyed. More power. More pressure. The planet trembled harder. Cracks appeared across the surface. But stopped. They didn't spread. They closed. What are we seeing? The alien overseer asked. No one answered. Because this wasn't in their records. This wasn't in their understanding. Earth wasn't behaving like a normal planet. On Earth, the scientist stared at the data. "There's something in the core," he said. "What kind of something?" the commander asked. He hesitated. "I don't know." That answer echoed. Because humans had explored space, studied planets, but never fully understood their own. "Could it be natural?" someone asked. "No," the scientist replied immediately. "Nothing natural does this." The alien weapon surged again. Maximum output. This should have ended it. This should have erased Earth completely. Instead, the opposite happened. The energy didn't destroy the planet. It fed something. Deep inside, the readings spiked. Off the scale. "What is happening?" the alien commander demanded. The system processed. Paused. Unknown. That word had never appeared before. Because their technology understood everything. Except this. Earth began to stabilize. The gravitational distortions slowed. The sky returned to normal. The collapse stopped. Completely. The weapon was still active. Still firing. But it wasn't working anymore. On Earth, silence fell again. "Did we survive?" someone asked. The commander looked up. At the ships. At the sky. "Yes," he said slowly. "But not because of us." Above, the alien fleet drifted slightly. Confused. Because for the first time, their perfect system had failed. And they had no idea why. The weapon powered down. Not by choice. By failure. Across the alien fleet, systems began recalculating. Primary objective incomplete. Cause. A pause. Unknown planetary anomaly. That answer was unacceptable. For a civilization that had mapped galaxies, controlled physics, and erased entire worlds, unknown was not allowed. "Scan the planet," the overseer ordered. This time, not from distance. Deep scans. Penetrating the surface. Reaching the core. Data streamed in. Layer by layer. Crust. Mantle. Everything normal. Until it wasn't. "There," one analyst said. A region appeared in the data. Not empty. Not solid. Something else. Zoom in. The image sharpened. Then distorted. Sensors struggled to define it. "It's interfering with scans." "Enhance resolution." They tried. The anomaly reacted. The signal bent. Changed shape. Like it didn't want to be seen. "That's impossible," the analyst whispered. But it was happening. On Earth. The same data was being received. The scientist stared at the readings. "We're not alone on this planet," he said quietly. Silence. "What do you mean?" the commander asked. He hesitated. "There's something in the core. And it's not part of Earth." The room went cold. "How long has it been there?" Another pause. "Since before the planet formed." That answer didn't make sense. But neither did anything else anymore. Above, the alien fleet changed strategy. "If the planet cannot be destroyed externally, we remove the anomaly." New weapons deployed. Focused beams. Not targeting the surface. Targeting deep inside. The core. Energy drilling initiated. Beams of impossible precision. Cut through layers of the planet. Reaching deeper. Closer. On Earth. Seismic activity spiked. Earthquakes rolled across continents. "This will destabilize the planet," the engineer shouted. "Stop them." "We can't," the commander replied. Because once again, humanity had no way to fight back. Deep underground, the anomaly reacted. Not violently, but deliberately. The beams reached it, touched it, and stopped. Completely. As if blocked. The alien systems recalculated. Increasing output. More power. Stronger beams. The anomaly responded. For the first time, it moved. Not physically, but actively. The energy didn't pass through. It bent. Redirected. Returned. "What is happening?" the alien commander demanded. The answer came too late. The energy beams were no longer under their control. They surged backward, straight into the alien ships. Systems overloaded instantly. Explosions lit up space. Not massive, but enough. Enough to cause damage. Enough to cause fear. For the first time, the alien fleet pulled back. Not in strategy. In reaction. On Earth, everyone watched in disbelief. It defended us, someone whispered. The commander stared at the sky. No, he said slowly. It defended itself. That was worse. Because whatever was inside Earth was not protecting humanity. It was protecting something else. And now, the aliens knew it existed. Which meant they wouldn't stop. Because they hadn't just found resistance. They had found something they didn't understand. And that made it more dangerous than any planet. It made Earth a target they couldn't ignore. The alien fleet didn't retreat far. Just enough to regroup. To think. For the first time, they weren't attacking. They were studying. All data points confirm, an analyst said. The anomaly is not planetary. Define. It is separate from the planet's natural structure. Silence followed. That meant one thing. Earth was not just a world. It was a container. On Earth, the same conclusion was forming. We've been living on top of something, the scientist said. Not inside the planet. On top of it. The room went quiet. How big is it? Someone asked. He looked at the data again. Planetary scale. That answer didn't feel real. But nothing about this situation did. Above, the alien fleet prepared a new plan. If external destruction fails, containment must be removed internally. This time, they wouldn't probe. They would extract. Massive devices deployed from the ships. Not weapons. Anchors. They locked onto Earth's surface. Across continents. Across oceans. What are they doing? The commander asked. The scientist's face went pale. They're not attacking the anomaly. They're trying to pull it out. Silence. That would destroy the planet, someone said. Yes, he replied. They don't care. The devices activated. Energy beams connected to the planet. Not penetrating. Gripping. Holding. Then, they pulled. The effect was immediate. The ground trembled violently. Mountains shifted. Oceans surged. Entire regions began to crack. They are tearing the planet apart, the engineer shouted. Evacuations? Someone asked. Nowhere to go, came the answer. Because if the planet broke, everything ended. Deep below, the anomaly reacted again. Stronger this time. Not defensive. Active. Energy surged from the core. Not like the alien energy. Something older. Something deeper. The pulling force slowed. The anchors strained. Alien systems overloaded. Resistance increasing exponentially. Maintain pressure, the commander ordered. But something changed. The anomaly began to rise. Not physically, but its presence was moving upward. Through the planet. Toward the surface. On Earth. Sensors went wild. It's coming up, the scientist whispered. What is? The commander demanded. He looked at the data. At the impossible readings. Whatever is inside Earth. The ground split open in multiple locations. Not random. Patterned. Like something pushing from below. Light emerged. Not bright. But heavy. As if it had weight. What is that? Someone whispered. No one answered. Because deep down, they all understood one thing. This wasn't just energy. This wasn't just a structure. This was something else. Something that had been asleep. For billions of years. And now, because of the aliens, it was waking up. Above, the alien fleet detected the change. New entity signature detected. Classify. A pause. Longer than before. Unable to classify. That word again. Unknown. The most dangerous thing in the universe. The anchors began to fail. One by one. They broke. Exploding. Disconnecting. The pulling stopped. But it was too late. Because now, something else had entered the fight. And it wasn't human. And it definitely wasn't something the aliens were prepared for. The cracks spread across the Earth's surface. Not like destruction. Like something opening. From space, the alien fleet watched in silence. Planet integrity compromised. No, the overseer replied slowly. This is not collapse. He was right. Because the planet wasn't breaking. It was responding. Across continents. Massive fractures formed in perfect patterns. Not random. Deliberate. As if something beneath the surface knew exactly where to push. What is that formation? An alien analyst asked. The system processed. Paused. Structure detected. Structure. That meant design. And design meant intention. On Earth, the skies began to glow faintly. Not from the alien ships. From below. The cracks emitted a deep, steady light. Not bright, but powerful. What are we looking at? The commander asked. The scientist didn't answer immediately. Because the data didn't match anything known. It's not just rising, he said finally. It's connecting. Connecting to what? He looked up. At everything. Energy spread through the planet. Not chaotic. Organized. Every continent. Every ocean. Linked. As if Earth itself had become part of something larger. Above. The alien fleet detected a massive surge. Energy levels exceeding previous weapon output. Source. The planet. That answer didn't make sense. A planet shouldn't produce that kind of energy. Unless it wasn't just a planet. Then it happened. At the center of the Pacific Ocean. The surface split open. Not violently. Smoothly. Water parted. Not pushed aside. Moved. Like it was being controlled. From the depths. Something emerged. Not fully visible. But massive. Bigger than any alien ship. Bigger than anything humanity had ever seen. A structure. Or something like one. Rising slowly. What is that? The commander whispered. No one answered. Because their minds couldn't process it. Above. The alien fleet reacted instantly. All units. Prepare maximum response. For the first time. They were not attacking Earth. They were reacting to it. Weapons charged. Every ship locked onto the emerging entity. Fire. Beams of energy struck the surface. Struck the rising structure. The result. Nothing. No damage. No impact. The energy disappeared. Absorbed. Redirected. Returned. Alien ships exploded across orbit. Not from attack. From their own power turned against them. Panic spread through the fleet. This is not possible. Retreat. Maintain formation. Conflicting orders filled the network. Chaos began to form. And below, the entity continued to rise. Slow. Unstoppable. As if nothing in the universe could interfere. On Earth, people watched in silence. Fear. Confusion. And something else. Realization. This thing, the scientist whispered. It was never protecting us. The commander nodded slowly. No. It was waiting. And now, because the aliens had tried to destroy the planet, they had done something far worse. They had awakened something ancient. Something powerful. Something that didn't belong to humanity. And definitely didn't belong to them. And now, it was fully awake. The alien fleet broke formation. For the first time. Not by strategy. By fear. Retreat from orbit. One commander shouted. Ships began to pull away from Earth. Not in order. Not in unity. Just leaving. But it was already too late. The thing rising from Earth had fully emerged. Not entirely visible. Not fully understood. But undeniably real. From space. It looked like a structure. But it didn't behave like one. Its surface shifted. Patterns moving like thought. Energy flowing across it. Like veins. Scan it. The alien overseer ordered. Sensors locked on. Data streamed. Then failed. Signal corrupted. Try again. They did. Same result. The system couldn't read it, couldn't define it, couldn't understand it. That's not possible, the analyst said. But it was happening. Because whatever this thing was, it didn't follow the rules of known physics. Or maybe, it followed rules far older. On Earth, silence covered the planet. No panic, no chaos, just watching, as something impossible stood between them and extinction. The alien fleet made one final decision. If we cannot destroy it, we eliminate the planet entirely. A last attempt. A desperate one. Every remaining ship powered up. Weapons charged beyond safe limits. Not controlled. Not precise. Total annihilation. Fire everything. The sky lit up. Hundreds of beams. All aimed at Earth. At the entity. At everything. On Earth. People closed their eyes. Not in fear. In acceptance. Because no one could survive that. No planet could. The beams struck. A moment of pure energy. Blinding. Overwhelming. And then, silence. When the light faded, Earth was still there. Untouched. Not even a scratch. Above. The alien fleet was not. Where the Armada had been. There was nothing. No debris. No wreckage. Just empty space. They're gone, the engineer whispered. Not destroyed. Not damaged. Gone. As if they had never existed. The entity didn't attack. It didn't chase. It didn't react. It simply removed them. On Earth. The commander stared at the sky. What did it do? Someone asked. He didn't answer immediately. Because the truth was hard to accept. It didn't fight them, he said slowly. It decided they shouldn't exist. Silence. Because that was something far beyond war. Far beyond weapons. Far beyond anything humanity understood. The entity began to descend. Slowly. Returning to the planet. As if its task was complete. The cracks began to close. The oceans settled. The light faded. And just like that, it was gone. Back beneath the surface. Hidden again. As if nothing had happened. But everything had changed. Because now, humanity knew the truth. They had never been alone. And the thing beneath them was not their protector. It was something far more dangerous. Something that had just proven that entire alien civilizations meant nothing to it. The sky was empty. Completely empty. No alien ships. No signals. No sign that anything had ever been there. If not for the global damage. The cracked ground. The shaken oceans. People might have believed it never happened. But they knew. Everyone knew. Something had come to destroy Earth. And something else had stopped it. Something far more powerful. On Earth, emergency systems slowly came back online. Satellites restarted. Communication returned. Humanity began to reconnect. What do we do now? A leader asked. No one answered immediately. Because for the first time, the question wasn't about war or survival. It was about understanding. Deep beneath the planet, whatever had awakened, had gone silent again. No movement. No signals. Just waiting. We need to study it, the scientist said. No, the commander replied instantly. That answer surprised everyone. Why not? Someone asked. He looked around the room. At the people. At the planet. Because we don't know what it is, he said. And the last ones who tried don't exist anymore. Silence followed. Because that was the truth. The alien civilization, with technology beyond imagination, had been erased. Not defeated. Not destroyed. Erased. As if they had never mattered. Weeks passed. Then months. No new threats came. No signals from space. No alien contact. It was as if the universe had gone quiet. Watching. Waiting. Eventually, a deep space probe picked something up. Far beyond Earth's system. A signal. Not strong. Not clear. But real. It wasn't a message. It was a warning, translated slowly over time. It carried a simple meaning. Do not target that world. Another fragment followed. Unknown entity present. And finally, the last piece. Total loss confirmed. The message spread across Earth. Humanity finally understood. The aliens hadn't failed because they were weak. They hadn't failed because humans fought back. They failed because they attacked the wrong planet. On Earth, life slowly returned to normal. Cities rebuilt. Systems improved. But one thing had changed forever. Humanity stopped looking at space the same way. Because now, they knew something important. They were not the strongest. They were not the most advanced. They were not even in control of their own world. But they were alive. Because something else had allowed it. Deep beneath their feet, the entity remained. Silent, ancient, unseen, and waiting. Not protecting, not guiding, just existing. And if anything ever threatened Earth again, it would rise. Not for humanity, but for itself. Because when aliens tried to destroy Earth, they didn't fail because of humans. They failed because they woke something that should have never been disturbed.